The sacred plants and Grandpa's secret. Dona Maria woke up to the smell of fresh coffee and the sound of the kettle sizzling. It was Sunday, her favorite day, because the whole family got together at her grandmother's house. But today there was something different in the air. His grandson, Lucas, 12 years old, was sitting at the table with an old notebook in his hands, full of drawings and notes. "Grandma, what is this here?" Lucas asked, showing a drawing of a plant with large leaves and purple flowers. Grandpa wrote a lot of things about sacred plants. Dona Maria smiled, took the notebook and leafed through it carefully. His eyes sparkled. Ah, that was his project. He always said that plants kept ancient secrets. I wanted to teach everyone, but what? Lucas leaned in, curious. "He's not finished," she sighed. "But I think you can help us finish." Lucas's eyes widened. Let's start at the beginning," said Dona Maria, pulling out a chair. "Sit here. I will tell you about the 20 sacred plants that your grandfather studied. 1. Basil and home protection. The first is easy," said Dona Maria, pointing to a vase in the window. "Basil. Everyone has one at home, right?" "Yes. My mother uses it to season sauce," said Lucas. "That's right. But in the past, people believed that basil wards off bad things. They placed it on the door of the house to protect the family." "Like an amulet?" Lucas asked, frowning. "Exactly," laughed Dona Maria. "And it's not just legend. Its strong smell keeps mosquitoes away, so it really helps." Lucas wrote down in his notebook, "Basil, protection, seasoning, keeps mosquitoes away." 2. Rue and bad eyes. "This one is famous," said Dona Maria, showing a dry twig. "Aruda. Ancient grandmothers used it to ward off the evil eye." "Evil eye? Like when someone gets jealous?" Lucas laughed. "That." Dona Maria laughed along. "My grandmother always said, if you have rue at home, you don't have a bad eye. And look, she even planted them in the backyard." "But does it work?" Lucas asked, suspicious. "Well, rue has a strong smell, and people believe that this confused bad energy. Today, we know that it helps relieve headaches. So, one way or another, it helps." Lucas wrote, "Rue wards off the evil eye, strong smell, relieves headache." 3. Rosemary and memory. "This plant here," said Dona Maria, taking a sprig of rosemary, "was used by students in ancient Greece. They put it in their heads before the tests." "Serious?" Lucas widened his eyes. "Serious. They believed that rosemary helped them remember things. And today, scientists have discovered that the smell of it actually improves memory." "Wow. So I should smell rosemary before the math test." Lucas joked. "You can try," laughed Dona Maria. "And you can still use it at the barbecue, you know?" 4. Aloe vera and healing. "This is aloe vera," said Dona Maria, showing a fat plant with pointed leaves. "My mother used it for burns." "I already saw it. My aunt applies it to her hair," said Lucas. "That. It is great for the skin, for burns, for moisturizing the hair. The ancient Egyptians called it the plant of immortality." "Immortality." Lucas laughed. "So I should drink aloe vera juice every day?" "Best not." Dona Maria laughed. "She's good on the outside, but inside she can do harm. The important thing is knowing how to use it." 5. Chamomile and peaceful sleep. "This little white flower here," said Dona Maria, showing a tea bag, "is chamomile. Everyone knows." "My mother makes tea when I can't sleep," said Lucas. "Exactly. The Romans used chamomile to calm people. And today, we know that it really helps to relax. So it's like a natural medicine?" Lucas asked. "That's right. And you can even apply compressors to tired eyes." 6. The laurel and wisdom. "This leaf here," said Dona Maria, showing a dry leaf, "is the laurel. The ancient Greeks made crowns with it to honor the winners. Like Olympic athletes?" Lucas asked. "That. And also the poets and the wise men. They believed that laurel brought wisdom. So if I eat blonde, I'll become smarter?" Lucas joked. "Well, it's not quite like that," laughed Dona Maria. "But it gives the food a good taste." 7. Sage and longevity. "This plant here," said Dona Maria, showing a branch of sage, "was called sacred herb in the Middle Ages. People believed it cured everything." "Everything really?" Lucas doubted it. "Well, almost everything," laughed Dona Maria. "It helps with digestion, soothes a sore throat. The Chinese even swap sage for black tea. So it's like a miracle medicine? Lucas asked. Let's just say it's a very useful plant, said Dona Maria. And you can even use it in food. 8. Garlic and strength. Everyone knows this one, said Dona Maria, showing a head of garlic. The garlic. My father says that garlic keeps vampires away, Lucas joked. And he's not entirely wrong, laughed Dona Maria. In the past, people believed that garlic kept away bad spirits. And today, we know that it is great for health. It strengthens the heart. So it's like a superfood? Lucas asked. You could say yes, said Dona Maria. And it still makes the food taste good. 9. Mint and energy. This one, said Dona Maria, showing a mint plant, is great for freshening your breath. And to make iced tea, said Lucas. But the ancients believed that mint gave energy. The Greeks even banned soldiers from eating mint because they thought it made them too agitated. So it's like a natural energy drink? Lucas asked. Exactly, laughed Dona Maria. And it also helps with digestion. 10. The carnation and love. This little flower here, said Dona Maria, showing a red carnation, was used in love potions in the Middle Ages. Love potions? Lucas laughed. Like those movie spells? More or less, laughed Dona Maria. People believed that the carnation attracted love and passion. Today, we use it to give the house a good smell. So if I give my crush a blackhead, will she like me? Lucas joked. Well, it doesn't hurt to try, laughed Dona Maria. But I don't guarantee anything. 11. Lavender and peace. This one, said Dona Maria, showing a bunch of lavender, is lavender. The Romans used it in their baths to relax. I've seen lavender soap, said Lucas. Her scent calms you down, helps you sleep. It's like a hug in the form of a plant. So if I smell lavender, I'll be calm? Lucas asked. You can try, laughed Dona Maria. And you can even make a sachet to keep in the closet. 12. Ginger and courage. This root here, said Dona Maria, showing a piece of ginger, was used by Asian warriors before battles. Like an energy drink? Lucas asked. More or less. They believed that ginger gave courage. Today, we know that it helps with digestion and relieves nausea. So if I eat ginger, I'll be brave? Lucas joked. Well, at least you won't get sick, laughed Dona Maria. 13. Calendula and skin healing. This orange flower here, said Dona Maria, showing a marigold, was used to heal wounds. Like a natural band-aid. Lucas asked. Roman soldiers used calendula to heal cuts. And today, we use it in ointments and creams. So it's like a pharmacy medicine? Lucas asked. Exactly, said Dona Maria. And you can even make tea. 14. The dandelion and wishes. This yellow flower here, said Dona Maria, showing a dandelion, was used to make wishes. Like blowing the seeds? Lucas asked. People believed that if you blew all the seeds at once, your wish would come true. So it's like magic? Lucas joked. Well, it's not really magic, laughed Dona Maria. But it's a beautiful tradition. And the plant is still edible. 15. Lemon balm and joy. This plant here, said Dona Maria, showing a lemon balm plant, was used to brighten the heart. Like a natural antidepressant? Lucas asked. More or less, laughed Dona Maria. Her tea calms and brings a good feeling. The ancients believed that it ward off sadness. So if I drink lemon balm tea, I'll be happy? Lucas joked. At least you'll be calmer, laughed Dona Maria. 16. Thyme and courage. This little plant here, said Dona Maria, showing a sprig of thyme, was used by medieval knights. Like an amulet? Lucas asked. They believed that thyme gave courage. And today, we use it to season food. So if I eat thyme, I'll be brave? Lucas joked. Well, at least your food will taste good, laughed Dona Maria. 17. The rose and divine love. This flower here, said Dona Maria, showing a red rose, was sacred in many cultures. Like the flower of love? Lucas asked. The Greeks believed that the rose was a gift from the gods. And today, we use it to express love. So if I give my mother a rose, will she be happy? Lucas asked. For sure, laughed Dona Maria. And you can even make petal tea. 18. Coriander and protection. This little plant here, said Dona Maria, showing a coriander plant, was used to ward off bad energy. Like a spirit repellent? Lucas joked. More or less. Laughed Dona Maria. The ancients believed that coriander protected the house. And today, we use it in food. So if I plant coriander, my house will be protected? Lucas asked. Well, at least your food will taste good. Laughed Dona Maria. 19. Mint and purification. This one, said Dona Maria, showing a mint plant, was used in cleaning rituals. Like a magic broom? Lucas joked. More or less. Laughed Dona Maria. People believed that mint purified the environment. And today, we use it in candies and teas. So if I chew mint gum, I'll be cleansed? Lucas joked. Well, at least your breath will be fresh. Laughed Dona Maria. 20. The lily and purity. This flower here, said Dona Maria, showing a white lily, was a symbol of purity in many cultures. Like the flower of angels? Lucas asked. That. Christians believed that the lily represented the Virgin Mary. And today, we use it in bouquets. So if I give someone a lily, am I saying they are pure? Lucas asked. More or less. Laughed Dona Maria. But it's a beautiful flower, right? Grandpa's secret. Lucas closed the notebook, looking at Dona Maria with a smile. Grandma, I think I now understand why Grandpa loved these plants so much. They are not just beautiful. They have history. That's right, said Dona Maria, excited. And now, you can continue his work. Lucas asked, surprised. Of course. Who better than you to tell these stories to people? Said Dona Maria, placing her hand on his shoulder. Lucas looked at the notebook, then at Dona Maria. So, can we make a book? A book. Dona Maria smiled. Why not? Let's get started today. And so, between laughter and chamomile tea, Lucas and Dona Maria began to write the book of sacred plants. Each plant was a story, each leaf an ancient secret. And in the end, Lucas discovered that the real treasure was not in the plants, but in the stories they carried, and the people who kept them alive. Lucas took his grandfather's notebook and opened it to a blank page. The pen shook a little in his hand. Where do we start? He asked, looking at Dona Maria. She pointed to the backyard, where the sun hit the leaves of a tall tree. How about rosemary? His grandfather always said he was the plant of memory. Lucas smiled. He remembered the strong smell of rosemary in his grandfather's garden, how he used the leaves to season food and tell stories. He said that rosemary protected memories. Lucas murmured. Exactly. Dona Maria got excited. The ancient Greeks put rosemary branches in their hair to remember important things. And the Egyptians used it in tombs to help the dead not forget who they were. Lucas wrote everything down quickly. Then he stopped and frowned. But how will we know if it's true? Dona Maria laughed. My son, some things we only know because someone once believed them. Your grandfather believed. I believe. And now, you too. Lucas bit his lip, thinking. Then he wrote in large letters at the top of the page, Rosemary, the plant that keeps memories. And this one? He asked, pointing to a plant with purple leaves in a pot near the window. That's the sage. Dona Maria approached. They say it cures everything, except sadness. But his grandfather had a different theory. Which? He said that sage doesn't cure sadness. It teaches us how to carry it. Lucas was quiet for a moment. Then he wrote, Sage, the plant that does not cure sadness, but helps you live with it. Dona Maria placed her hand on his shoulder again. It's sore. You already understand. By the end of the afternoon, the notebook already had several pages filled. Lucas stopped writing and looked at the yard. What if no one wants to read it? Dona Maria shrugged. Then we read to ourselves. Stories aren't just for other people, Lucas. They are for those who need to hear them. He closed the notebook and took a deep breath. Shall we continue tomorrow? Of course. Dona Maria got up, picking up the kettle. But today we drink more tea. And maybe a piece of that cornmeal cake I made. Lucas laughed. Closed. And as the sun set, the two stayed there, among plants and stories, knowing that the book had already begun long before the first word was written. Dona Maria served tea in clay mugs. The steam rose, fragrant, mixed with the aroma of the warm cake. This cake here has a story too, she said, cutting a large piece for Lucas. The cornmeal came from my grandmother's field. She planted corn, ground it on the stone, and did everything by hand. Lucas bit off a piece. It was soft, slightly sweet. And why the cornmeal? Because it's simple. Like things that last. Dona Maria pointed to the backyard. Look at those herbs over there. They are not beautiful like garden flowers, but they resist the strong sun, rain, and wind. Cornmeal is like that. Lucas looked at the yard. The plants swayed slowly in the afternoon breeze. What if I don't know how to draw them properly? Who said it needs to be perfect? Dona Maria laughed. My grandmother said that plants like to be remembered, not copied. If you draw from the heart, they will recognize it. Lucas picked up the notebook again. He ran his finger over a blank page. So tomorrow we start with which one? With whatever you choose. She took a sip of tea. But I have a suggestion. Which? The roux. Lucas frowned. The one we use for protection? That's right. Dona Maria lowered her voice, as if she were going to tell a secret. It's not just to ward off the evil eye. She teaches us to protect ourselves without fear. Lucas looked at the roux, growing in a corner of the yard. The small pages, full of stories. And how do we write about it? The way she is. Strong, but delicate. Dona Maria smiled. And if you want, we can pick a twig for you to take home. Lucas hesitated. Won't it hurt? Only if you eat. She laughed. But to keep it in your pocket, to remember, there's no danger. The sun had almost disappeared. The yard turned gold, then orange, then a soft purple. Tomorrow then, Lucas said, putting the notebook in his backpack. Tomorrow, Dona Maria confirmed, getting up to light the lamp. And as night came, the two stayed there, knowing that each plant had a lesson. And that learning was just a matter of time. Lucas woke up to the smell of fresh coffee and warm bread. The bedroom window was open, and the wind carried the scent of plants in the yard. He stretched, grabbed his notebook, and ran down the stairs. Dona Maria was already in the kitchen, stirring a pot on the wood stove. Good morning, sleepyhead, she said, without taking her eyes off the fire. Good morning. Lucas sat on the wooden chair, which creaked. Are we really going to harvest the roux today? If you want. She placed a cup of latte in front of him. But first, there's another plant to get to know. Lucas frowned. Other? Wasn't it just the roux? Dona Maria laughed. My son, 20 plants can't fit in one day. She dried her hands on her apron and pointed to the backyard. He comes. Today is aloe vera day. The two left. The sun was still weak, but it was already warming up. In the corner of the yard, near the wall, there was a huge aloe plant. The leaves were thick, filled with a transparent gel inside. She's ugly, Lucas said, without thinking. Dona Maria laughed. Ugly on the outside, but beautiful on the inside. It's like that with a lot of people, you know? Lucas touched a leaf carefully. It was cold and firm. What is it for? For burns, for dry skin, for hair, even for stomachaches, if used correctly. She took a small knife and cut a leaf. Just look. The gel drained slowly. Dona Maria rubbed a little on Lucas's hand. Do you feel? Cold, right? Lucas rubbed his fingers. It was soft, almost like water. And how do we write about it? He writes that she is like patience. Dona Maria cleaned the knife on the ground. It takes time to grow, but when you need it, it's there, strong and ready. Lucas wrote everything down quickly. Then he looked at the roux tree, still untouched. And the roux? Do we harvest today? Only if you want. Dona Maria looked at the sky. But today the wind is good. If we harvest it now, it will smell better. Lucas took a deep breath. He took the scissors that Dona Maria offered and cut a small twig. The leaves gave off a strong, somewhat spicy smell. Wow, he said, putting his nose close. He likes. I like. He put the branch in his shirt pocket. But I'm not going to eat, right? Dona Maria laughed loudly. No, my son. It just smells. The sun was already higher. The chicken scratched near the guava tree, and a bird sang on the roof. Lucas looked at the yard, full of plants he didn't even know the name of. How many are left? He asked. 18. Dona Maria blinked. But don't worry. We have time. And the two stayed there, in the backyard that smelled of earth and mystery, knowing that each plan had a story, and that, little by little, Lucas would learn them all.